All right, so Happytime Murders. That's what I didn't see, but he did, so let's talk about it.
Happy Little Puppets. Okay, so Happytime Murders. It's directed by Brian Henson and stars Melissa McCarthy and Bill Beretta.
All right.
And I did not know what I was getting into.
Yeah, 'cause I don't even know what kind of movie
I didn't
it is.
either. To be honest, I went to the movies with a friend, and we were trying to figure out what to see. I never do this. I never go to the movies without knowing what I'm going to go see. But we were in the area, decided to go see a movie, and went there and said, "Oh, Happytime Murders." I saw the poster, so I knew it was Melissa McCarthy and a puppet, and they were in cop uniforms. So I was like, "Oh, it's a buddy cop movie," but the cool part, or the shtick, is gonna be that one's a puppet. I thought that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's kind of that, but so they ID'd me when I went to the theater, and I was already like, oh, so it's rated R. I didn't even know it was rated R. And you get into the movie, and they start talking about how humans and puppets are living not really in harmony. He says, everybody really gets along in this world, and it's a puppet narrating this. The main character, played by Bill Beretta, he plays like an ex-detective, and he goes, everybody lives in harmony and gets along unless you're a puppet. And it shows a puppet trying to get into a taxi, and somebody pushes him out of the way, a human, and he's like, "Move out of the way, stupid puppet." And then I was like, okay, that's kind of funny. And the taxi drives off, and the puppet goes, "Fuck you, you douchebag." And I was like, oh, okay. So this is it.
That's the kind of movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you could describe it just briefly, like what kind of...
It's a buddy cop movie. It's a murder mystery with raunchy puppets. Very, very raunchy, inappropriate, rated R puppets. And I'm gonna come right out and say it. This movie is not for everyone. It's not. This movie's for me. Like, I thought it was very funny and very entertaining.
Yeah.
I do know or I can see how a lot of people won't like this movie. My mom wouldn't like this movie, most likely. It's not one of those movies to take your parents to. I don't even think it could be a date movie. I was like, you could bring a girl to go see it, but it might be kind of awkward. It's definitely a kind of movie for like a group of friends to go see, or your taste in comedy has got to be this kind of comedy.
What would you compare their comedy to? Is it like a Seth Rogen?
I would say Sausage Party.
Sausage Party?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you watched Sausage Party and were like, this is disgusting, this is gross, I don't want to watch anything like this, then don't go see this movie. Like, straight up, you won't like this movie if you didn't like Sausage Party. But if you did like Sausage Party, and you were like, okay, I get it, that it was a little outrageous, but the jokes are funny, so make me laugh, then you'll most likely like this movie.
Okay, that's a very distinct brand of humor, so...
Yeah. Seth Rogen, his crew, this is basically, even his unanimated movies, like, it's kind of the humor that this is, just dialed up to 11, because they can do a whole bunch of stuff with puppets.
So, as a comedy, does it do its job?
Yeah.
Where you're laughing the whole time, just consistent, just... It
wasn't as consistent as something like Blockers. I'm gonna compare to that just because it's recent.
Yeah.
That movie, I think I laughed more watching that movie, just because this is a certain type of comedy, and they use the same kind of jokes during that. Like, it's all inappropriate, raunchy. Either the puppets just want to have sex with each other constantly, and that's most of the jokes with the puppets has to do with like their sexual urges or them being crack addicts or something, like something that'd be funny to see a puppet do that humans do, and it's like we're kind of jaded by that already, because you hear of humans doing this so many times, you see this in movies, but when you see puppets do it, it's funnier.
Yeah.
But I think in Blockers I laughed a little more just because they had more variety of comedy. They switch things up.
Yeah. Is there a real underlying story in here?
And I think that's what saves this movie.
Okay.
Because if the story wasn't good, and I'm not saying it's spectacular, it's something that's been done a whole bunch of times. It's a buddy cop movie with Melissa McCarthy.
Tropes are so common for a reason.
Right.
they work.
Yeah.
So.
There's already been a buddy cop movie with Melissa McCarthy. There's
Yeah.
probably been a lot.
I think she's done a couple, actually.
Yeah, I think she's done a few.
Yeah.
But this definitely reminded me of The Heat. Yes, Melissa McCarthy does play the same-ish Melissa McCarthy character,
Yeah.
but to be honest, I'm not tired of that. I love watching Melissa McCarthy do her thing, be, inappropriate, swear, cuss all the time at people, talk shit, like, it's funny to me, to me, and it does remind me of The Heat that she's in with Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
They play kind of the same duo almost, except for Sandra Bullock's character is super, kind of like stuck up.
Yeah.
The cop in this is kind of a douchebag also. He's a shit talker too. I mean, every puppet in this movie is a shit talker. But I think their relationship is really good, and you don't forget he's a puppet. The movie won't let you, but the relationship's super good. They have good chemistry, and the story is actually like decent enough. It's a murder mystery type of thing. So there's a bunch of murders happening, and you have to figure out, who's doing these murders, why, who they're murdering, and it's like for what reason. And you're finding this out with the characters. They don't tell you, who it is.
No.
There's not huge hints. I mean, if you want to try to figure it out, you probably can pretty early, but I didn't really try. So I was kind of shocked by who the murderer was.
So we just sit back and kind of just enjoy the laughs, and then be pleasantly surprised that there's a little bit of story behind there.
Yeah, and I'm not going to spoil a lot of the jokes because they are super surprising.
Yeah.
Like, you keep wondering, is the movie gonna take it farther than what they just did?
Yeah.
And they do, and then they do, and they do, and then they stop. So they take it for like the first half of the movie.
Yeah.
They're trying to top themselves on how raunchy they can get with these damn Muppets.
Yeah.
And but halfway through they take a step back. They let the story go. And they let you kind of figure out this murder mystery. And there's not, like, this movie isn't without dramatic scenes. The characters do have arcs. The main character has got these inner demons that he's trying to overcome. He messed up in the past. He ruined some stuff for other puppets because this world doesn't treat puppets the way they treat humans. There's a lot of social commentary there too, just because of the time this is coming out in.
Yeah.
And you see that, you acknowledge that, and then once you get past that, it's, he's got his problems he has to overcome. Melissa McCarthy's got her problems that he's trying to help her through. They don't really like each other, and so interesting dynamic there. But overall, I think it does its job as a comedy and as a movie.
Okay, so what would you give it as a rating?
As a rating, I think I'd give it probably a 4 out of 6. I'd say
Okay.
straight even.
Good, solid.
Yeah, a little above average, I guess. Yeah, just because of how surprising it was. I think watching it like in a few years, it might be worse, just because now I expect this. I already know the shock factor is already gone. So I don't know if on a second watch I would still find it that good, but on first viewing, it surprised me. It's kind of like a Deadpool thing, not comparing it to Deadpool, but it was kind of a like, oh wow, they pushed it this far.
Yeah.
And same thing here, like, oh, they pushed it this far. I'm glad that studios are still doing this.
Yeah.
To be honest, because a lot of things now are pretty safe-ish. I mean, Black Klansman is also out right now, which I haven't seen it yet, but it seems like it might push that.
Probably take some chances.
Yeah. And I'm glad other studios are trying to take some chances, in 2018.
All right.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought of Happytime Murders. If you agree, voice your opinions down in the comments, and if you go and see it, let me know what you think.